Oh, hey everyone, it's your boy RKL2582 here to give my video response to Pacifist 299 about the topic, whatever happened to the good days of wrestling. And as you may know, aside from me being a huge anime fan, I'm also a huge wrestling fan. I can even go back to when the first time I ever watched wrestling was, of course, during the Attitude Era. I mean, I remember me enjoying The Rock, Stone Cold, HBK, DX, and so many other characters that I enjoyed watching. Um, I can even remember my dad and I watching a lot of the Attitude Era moments together. Like it was just your good old father and son bonding, and I can remember my dad telling me who was his favorite wrestlers in his time, since he was pretty much with WCW even from the early years, even to its demise. So I have to thank him for making me like WCW and stuff, even though I kind of ventured to it myself when I first saw Goldberg's very first match, and then from then on I was just a Goldberg fan, period. And then especially with the DX calling out a war with WCW. That was one of my favorite DX moments of all time, hands down. Oh, and and I can even go back to when Austin, the beer truck, and and The Rock, and yeah, it's so many great moments during that time, and back then you really weren't ashamed to be a wrestling fan because it's like everybody enjoyed it, everyone. I mean, it's just like with nowadays because people will be like, oh, you still watch wrestling? Like it's fake, right? And I tell them like I don't care. I know it's fake, but I still like to watch it because I like to be entertained. I mean, hence why I've been a wrestling fan for more than a decade up to now. So, anyways, back to the matter at hand with whatever happened to the good days of wrestling. Um, it's just like when you watch it nowadays, it's just kind of decent. It's just like it doesn't give you that feel anymore like it did back in the day. But once I saw the epic Rock return last month, it really opened my eyes on to see what wrestling's been missing all those years. That one guy that makes you want to tune in to see what he's gonna do next. I mean, Cena's just yeah. I people are pretty much tired of him, but even though I'm still a Cena fan, yeah, I know it's like why you still like Cena. I mean, that's just my opinion. I still kind of like him, but I think if Cena turned heel, then I think he'll do a lot better than people expect him to do. But but to me, once wrestling died was when the Monday Night Wars between WWE and WCW was pretty much over, and I pretty much agreed on Goldberg when I watched the Rise and Fall of WCW, which I own by the way. When he said, when you kill your competition, it just like what does it do now to the whole marketplace of wrestling? It's just not as hot as it once was. I mean, now they had had to do competition within themselves since they had no competition after that. So I can see, yeah, that to me is what kind of killed wrestling um, for me and for my dad, because really the big end all for my dad with the wrestling was when once The Rock and Stone Cold left, my dad pretty much just stopped watching wrestling because he always loved what both of those guys did, and I kind of don't blame him for not wanting to watch it anymore because it's just not that good anymore. But the last time me and my dad watched wrestling together was back when I went to my first ever WWE live event in December of '09, which was a Raw house show in Albany, Georgia. And I enjoyed every minute of it. Me and my dad were just, having old times again, like me liking him, and everything. But once Chris Benoit died, I think that's when wrestling really didn't matter anymore. It just like it pretty much gave wrestling a bad name, and I can still remember how horrible my summer was once I heard about Chris Benoit's shocking death for when he killed his son, wife, and then himself. I just, I just could not believe it. I mean, Yep, and that's when I kind of knew wrestling was just not going to be good anymore. Hence the whole PG mess and what they're doing now. But I'm starting to know that they're slowly doing away with PG era, which I'm very happy about. I mean, because I grew up with all the cussing, all that other stuff with the attitude there. That's what I'm used to. So thank God I'm an old school fan, along with me liking some of the current stuff. But mostly I'm an old school fan. So with the wrestling, some of the new characters I like right now are John Morrison, Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, and so many others. It's like if they were given the right material, then wrestling would start to be kind of good again. I mean, it's like I hate how they PG the product down. I just hate it. And then it's just like they can't be themselves. And I remember me reading an interview with Stone Cold saying like they need to be themselves. If they were more like themselves, then people would start being more interested in that character or whoever they like or dislike and stuff. It'll actually get the fans on their feet. And speaking of the fans, like sometimes when I watch Raw or SmackDown, like the fans just sometimes they just kind of be dead for a few minutes stuff. And I look at them like, are you kidding me? And like if I was in that the building and stuff, I would pretty much mark out no matter who came out, whether it was someone who I liked, someone who I dislike. I would have cheered and booed my heart out. It just they just treat it like it's a concert. I mean, it's like you just show up for just a few people and then you just don't give a crap about everybody else. To me, I show my love and dedication for wrestling. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and be a dud at a show. I know it's like if you want to be there, be there. If you don't waste your money. I mean, plain and simple. Anyways, how, that's how I feel about the good days of wrestling. So until then, your boy RKO 2582 is signing off.